What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. It's a Monday, which of course means we're going to be checking out the world rankings to see what has shifted up due to those games on the weekend going on in the Autumn Internationals and elsewhere in the world. Then we're going to take a look at the Superbru predictions. How well did you guys get on along with myself in predicting the outcome of those games? And then finally finishing off with a fantasy team, which basically boiled down to who picked Darcy Graham? Because that guy absolutely smashed it out the park. Did you have a mini team? Did you make him captain? And we've got a bit of a rant to go over with the Autumn Nations fantasy as well. So we'll get on to that in a bit. So we'll look forward to that, of course. Hit the like button, subscribe, do all the fun YouTube stuff along the way. Starting out then with the world rankings. We had two games going on in the Autumn Nations this weekend, so a bit of a shorter one. New Zealand taking 0.97 away from England, even though New Zealand higher ranked than England. England playing at home. New Zealand taking that win. It sees them push very, very close to the 90 points overall, slowly closing in on South Africa, of course, are playing this weekend as well. England dropped down by that 0.97, meaning they are just about ahead of Argentina. I think are playing Italy coming up this weekend as well, so some more fun games to have a look at. Scotland, with their very good win over Fiji, actually took 0.57 away from that game. Very, very big scoreline in that one, more than I was actually expecting, with Darcy Graham doing Darcy things. Fiji dropping down into 10th place after losing that 0.57 as well, sees Australia climb up into 9th place, leapfrogging over. Anything else going on in the rest of the world? Apparently there was. I didn't know about these games. Let's have a quick look at what's going on. So Belgium gained a plus 1.4 after their win over Switzerland. So Switzerland dropped down from 26th down to 28th. The Netherlands also getting a little bit of a boost from that drop as well. Sweden gain a 0.98 over their win over, wow, all the way down here, Lithuania dropping down there as well. So Sweden climb up into 31st, and Lithuania dropping down to 51st in the world. Anything else further down? Nothing else going on. There's only two games going on in the Autumn Nations this week. Next weekend there'll be some big shifting around, no doubt. But in terms of that top 10 moving around, Fiji, unfortunately, the only ones to move around, and then it is downwards into 10th spot. Moving on then to the predictions. How did we all get on? First game, England, New Zealand. New Zealand took this one by 2 points. I'm not going to lie. As that game was going on, I thought I got this one very wrong. I picked New Zealand by 5. I went a little bit further out than I said in the preview video. New Zealand take that by 2 means I got my full point plus my match point as well. Anyone go for England? A few people went for England. And man, I think early on in that game, you might have been thinking, made the right call there. And even maybe in the final 5 minutes, you might have thought, actually, I'm still on for this because, you know, drop goals, being missed, penalties coming off the post, all very close. A few people did take half a point away, at least by going for a low England win. Where did you want to be then? Nobody got it bang on. We had Christopher got the New Zealand by 1, and 4 different people went for New Zealand by 3. Nobody got it bang on, but all of you guys splitting that difference means you will get that plus 0.25 for that one. Anyone go for a big New Zealand win? All the way down there, Pedri went out for a 28-pointer to New Zealand. I certainly didn't think it was going to go that far out. There's me on my 5 joint by Mark Dunphy. Join me on the New Zealand by 5. Scotland versus Fiji. Scotland taking this one by 40. I went for 19, and I did put out on the Patreon. I always get my picks in on the Friday night before the Saturday game, so everyone's over on the Patreon, they can see it first. And I did say over there, I picked Scotland by 19, and I think I've shortchanged them because, you know, a couple of the big hitters missing from that Fiji team. You know, I think they're coming back now for the Wales side. I was like, I think like I've undershot this a bit at 19. I was going to boost that up to maybe about 26, 27. Still wouldn't have been in there with 40. Very, very big ask. Did anyone take anything? So Scotland win is where you wanted to be. No one going to get the match point. Villa Farrell got the bonus point for going for 27. You were 13 out. I thought the bonus point was for being within 10. Maybe they've changed the rules a little bit. But Villa Farrell being able to take that full point there away from everyone. Big scores in that one. Anyone go for Fiji over Murrayfield? I wasn't that confident in Fiji. 2 people went for Fiji. Wingspan and T8 Lewis went for Fiji. Would have been big points had you have got that one. It wasn't the game for me where I saw Fiji being able to take that one. In terms of the round and the leaderboard, gelled into one then because it's the same in both categories. Villa Farrell going for that high Scotland score sees you soar to the top there on 3 2.75. A few people coming in on that joint second place, separated by that TDM. Christopher 113 on 2.75. Forrest, Brandon, and Scottish Squid all joining you. Myself, hey, I'm in the top 10 for now. That'll change by the end of the Autumn Nations, I'm sure. Leading the 2.5ers, a whole bunch of us on 2.5, going all the way down there to Bowie, who's the final one to get there on the 2.5. Atai starting us out on the 2s. I'll have a scroll down so everyone can see we've got the 2 from 2. And then this is unfortunately people getting the not getting the correct picks. Most of these guys I think will be the ones that went for England over New Zealand, I imagine, on the 1.5s, and then all the way down there. Unfortunately, Mary Popper's starting us out on the 1 from 2. Not even getting the bonus points, because that was a big score, to be fair, in the Scotland game. If you went for that England pick, kind of screwed you being able to take extra points away. But congratulations to Villa Farrell on taking round 1. On to the fantasy then, which, rant first of all. I set this up. I got an email from the guys over at Six Nations Fantasy. They said, hey, Mad Dragon, we know you created a league for the Six Nations Fantasy. We're doing one for the Autumn Nations. Why not set up a fantasy with us? I thought, great. Superbru isn't doing their fantasy. Big shame. I really enjoyed the Superbru fantasies. They're not doing one for the Autumn Nations. The guys over at Six Nations have taken over Autumn Nations. They're doing it themselves. Fantastic. I'll set up a league, put all the codes out for you guys, did a video. This is how you can join in. Sat down on the Friday night to do it. To find out, you can only pick from the Six Nations teams. Now, I understand they've just reworked the Six Nations fantasy and made it the Autumn Nations. But why have they left out all of the other teams in the entire... that's a terrible decision. This is the official fantasy as well. Really rubbish. Don't know why they've done that. That, for anyone who's involved in the fantasy, it is not my rules. I haven't done this to make it awkward. This is the official rules of what it is. Really sucks, because, there's a lot of games that the Six Nations teams I'm not fancying to win. I didn't think England would beat New Zealand. I don't think Italy will beat Argentina next week. But we're going to have to pick teams from all the Six Nations because we can't pick Southern Hemisphere teams. Very, very annoying. Don't know why they've done that. Would have been much more fun to have slotted them in. But in terms of your results for round 1, Highland Cow. Woo, boy. Big, big scores. As you can imagine, the big scores are people who picked Darcy Graham, and not just picked Darcy Graham, made Darcy Graham captain. Now, I can't do the team of the week that I usually do for Superbru because there's so many players to go through, and it's very awkward to even work out who scored what along the way. But we can take a look at the best team of the round, and it was they went for the back 3. They were all Scottish. Now, Faye Weboso actually scored more than Cal Rowe. I also went for Cal Rowe as well. But that Darcy Graham pick, man. Ooh, 83 points for Darcy Graham, making him captain. 166 points. Absolutely wild. I think it was actually possible to pick a team that didn't score as high as Darcy Graham singularly. I think you could have made that work across the board. Hugh Jones and Ollie Lawrence, the centres, was a good pick as well. Marcus Smith and Ben Spencer. Ben Spencer didn't do very well, only on 6 points. Marcus Smith did well until they took him off. Ben Earl Darge and Cunningham South. Cunningham South actually scored kind of low for the amount of work I think he put in. I think he did very well. The scoring system, I'm still not fully, transparent on with this one. They do have a breakdown of the scores and stuff, but I'm not quite as good at this one as I am with the Superbru. Good old lock department there. Scuman getting 28 for that position as well. But this was something else that blew my mind. The super sub. Jordan, coming on from Scotland, had a great game. Came on early for Kyle Rowe as well. Scored 72 points because you get a ×3. I don't even know how you made the currency work. I feel like in terms of my team, I had a very similar team. We had the same back 3. I went for Van der Merwe as captain as opposed to Darcy Graham. A little bit of a falter there. We had the same centre partnership, the same halfback partnership. The only difference is I went for Rory Darge over Cunningham South, which I think is what Alan Cow went for. I think the lock department was very, very similarly priced. And then we had the same front row. I didn't have enough money to get a super sub. So I don't know how you did. I feel like our teams are very, very similar, but that was a extra big chunk of points. So well done to Highland Cow. They're on 642. Already nearly 100 points clear of me after round 1. Absolutely brutal. But we'll have a bit of a scroll down to see everyone else's name. Rob, Pedro, David Wakefield there. I think all of you guys went for went for Darcy Graham as captain as well. Go and scroll down in the top 10. Thomas H, Kian, Wombat, RKV1, and a whole bunch of letters and dots and stuff. But King Dogi going in there on 521, sealing out that top 10. Love the name. Yuane Sheet Dollars Plenty. You guys come up with some fantastic names. Darth Maul, we've got a Sith in here as well. Why not? On 494. Scrolling down, Etai, who's a monster over in the Superbru League as well, has joined us now for this one as well. We'll probably see a lot of names that correspond over as well. Have a bit of a scroll down into the low 400s there. Still getting over 400. I think is pretty good because we did this one during the Six Nations. I think 400 is a lot to get. In 1 week. Going down, unfortunately, there drops down very, very sharply. I'm not sure if some of these people got full teams in. Did they get full teams in? I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's a full team. Unfortunately, some of the players not playing, maybe, not quite up with the team sheets and what have you. Went for maybe with some picks, Finn Russell, Bayless and stuff, not playing there, unfortunately for you. I think that was Tyler Blank that I went for there. But, Darcy Graham, double points, is right up there. Picking that one captain who has a game like that, absolutely fantastic. Scrolling down. So, congratulations are in order for Highland Cow. Puts himself miles ahead already. After one round. Going to be fun getting to next week. Have got a lot of fun games going on next week. You guys can't quite see it on screen. But round 2 coming up next week, of course, we have Ireland versus New Zealand. That's a big game. England versus Australia. Looking forward to that one. I feel like I've got England, for me, maybe down for that one over Australia. They just got to not take off Marcus Smith later on in that second half. Italy versus Argentina. I'm leaning towards Argentina for that. They did impress me across the Rugby Championship. France versus Japan. I haven't seen France play for a little while. Japan lost to New Zealand the other week. I'm sort of back in France for that one. Wales, Fiji. I don't even want to touch with a barge pole anymore. I've given up. Pretend like I think Wales can win a game. And then Scotland going up against South Africa. Big game for Scotland to get on their World Cup pool stage again, right? Looking forward to that one. So lots more games to pick from next week. Unfortunately, the same thing will apply. We can only pick Six Nations teams, which I honestly think is a real bad misstep from the guys over at the Fantasy League for not having every team included. Feels really weird. If you want the world to be involved in World Rugby, wasn't that the whole thing? They want more people involved in rugby, and then they just cut out everyone that isn't a Six Nations team. It's very silly to me. But there we have it, guys. Hopefully you've all enjoyed this one today. Make sure to drop the video a like as usual, and of course keep up to date with the channel. Hit the subscribe button. More team announcements coming out Thursday, Friday. There's a lot of games. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do a preview video for every single game, but I'll see what I can smash out so you keep up to date with your team sheets and what have you. I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye bye.